Saudi club Al-Ittihad wish to sign our centre-back Nayef Aguerd ahead of their transfer window closing on Thursday, according to reports, and lots of different reports on this one as well. It's got me a little bit worried, truth be told. The Saudi Pro League transfer window closes at 10 PM on Thursday, so a little over 2 days for those clubs to get last minute business done, which means a little over 2 days for Premier Leagues to have a squeaky bum time. West Ham in particular will be hoping that there's not a formal bid from them for Nayef Aguerd, Liverpool with Mo Salah, and I'm pretty certain there'll be a few Premier League clubs hoping they don't hear from a Saudi club in the next couple of days. Maybe not Chelsea. I'm pretty sure Chelsea are waiting for a chap at the door for somebody to come in and offer a lot of money for a player they don't want, which will sort their FFP out. But that's just a guess. I'm sure Chelsea might have one more player that they wouldn't mind put into the Saudi League. But anyway, Al-Ittihad, who are the club with Benzema and N'Golo Kante. Now, what I've started doing, I can now tell, or I'm starting to tell, which club is which in Saudi Arabia, depending on which high-profile player, or manager, in Steven Gerrard's case, which high-profile player is at that club. So this club is Benzema and N'Golo Kante's club. It might also be Mo Salah's club. So that's part of my worry that feeds into this, truth be told. But anyway, that's how I've established who Al-Ittihad are. And they're the ones with money. Unlike Steven Gerrard's one, who they were the ones after Mikel Antonio, and they wanted Antonio, but didn't really want to pay money for him. They got Jordan Henderson, paid about 12 million for him. They got Musa and Dembele. Dembele's gone over to play for Steven Gerrard's side as well. So that club is now Gerrard's, Dembele's and Henderson's. But anyway, that's how I'm now distinguishing which club is which over in Saudi Arabia. And this one is Benzema and N'Golo Kante's one. This one is the club that have got executives flying into London in order to deal with Liverpool to try and sign Mo Salah for 215 million. So it's probably worse for Liverpool at this point because there has been verbal offers made and they've rejected those bids and said he's not for sale at any cost. And I can see him going. I can see Salah going next summer. I wouldn't be surprised if they strike a deal now, which means you go away and you stay away for 12 months. Let us have Salah for another year. And then you can have him next summer because you only have 12 months to go in his contract. But that's Liverpool's side of things. As for West Ham's side of things, now the fan in me says he's not for sale at any cost. He can't be. We can't replace him, obviously. And I don't like this. There's two things about the transfer window I don't like. I don't like the season starting while the transfer window is ongoing. I dislike that. I think when the first game of the season begins, you should have your squad for the season there ready to go. So I don't like the way it overlaps, but it is what it is. And I don't like the fact that other leagues' transfer windows continue while others close. Now, obviously, it swings and roundabouts because the English league has always used the Turkish league to its advantage. Look at Sanchez leaving Spurs today, going over to Turkey. So when the English transfer window closes, those players that we couldn't sell, those players we were hoping to move on for a bit of money, and we were unable to do so, instead of keeping them for the whole season, actually, let's see if we can shift them out to Turkey and take advantage of them having an extended transfer window. But I don't think they're going to like the fact that the Saudis have got an extra week. So 10 PM Thursday is the deadline over there. I think they'll be more focused on Salah. But the fact is that club that wants Salah, that wants Aguerd, worries me because they do have money. They do have money to spend. Now, any deal, any offer that comes from Al-Ittihad has to be sanctioned by the Saudi Pro League. They can't just, like West Ham can make an offer to any club whenever they want. That's what we can do. So we could, if let's just say we wanted, I don't know, why am I struggling to think of a player off the top of my head? Let's just say we wanted Che Adams from Southampton, right? We can just ring up Southampton and say, hey, can we make a bid for Che Adams, please? Thank you very much. The Saudis can't do that. They've got to get it sanctioned from their league before they can even make the offer. So it adds a little bit of a delay. So I'd imagine when it comes to deadline day, it probably won't be as hectic for the Saudis as it is for the Premier League when offers are getting flung in left, right and centre. But we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, the fan in me says not for sale at any cost. However, is it that straightforward? Before I discuss that, if you're new to Hammers Chat, please do subscribe to the channel and drop a like on it. You really help the video out if you drop a like on it. And, well, you help the channel out a bit by subscribing. You also get the videos in your subscription box. But you give me a morale boost. I'll check later. We've got some new subscribers. I think, hey, happy days. It must have been a decent enough video. I feel good. I feel motivated. So drop a like on the video to help the channel. And subscribe if you're new to Hammers Chat to help me. Both are free and takes you 2 seconds under the video. Thank you. So, how simple is it, though, to reject this? Now, I guess first of all I should say there's some reports suggesting that they're going to offer Aguerd 10 times what he's on at West Ham. Now I don't believe that, because Aguerd will be on plenty money at West Ham right now. Let's lowball it. Let's say he's on 60 grand. He's probably on a lot more than that, but let's just say he's on 60 grand at West Ham. They're going to offer him £600,000 a week. I don't really believe that at all. Now, they've got plenty of money. I know they do. But is he that high profile player? I don't know. I don't know what Aguerd's profile is over there. It might be better. It might be greater over there. I'd imagine it possibly is. I imagine his profile over there probably is better and louder than it is in England currently. But there were also other reports suggesting they're going to offer him 165 grand a week. I think I'm more inclined to believe those ones. Regardless of which one it is, it must be tempting as for any player. For any player, the money that's on offer in that league must make you consider it. Now, there's been plenty high-profile players that have turned down a move to the Saudi League, and fair play to them. I do mean that, fair play to them, because at the end of the day, football is a job. Football is a job to them. And that's why when Ruben Neves went, it was obvious why he went. And he basically said, I'm going for the money. He didn't quite say that. He said, I'm going because it's the best thing for me and my family's future. I'm going for them. And fine, you can't really... I actually appreciate the honesty in that one. Not like the Jordan Henderson thing, which has come out today, saying I didn't move for the money. I'll leave it out. You did move for the money. Just say you moved for the money. Nobody can have a problem with it. Well, some people will say, how much do you need? And I get that argument. But just be honest, say I moved for the money. But anyway, they can offer Aguerd a lot more money than what West Ham can. Whether Aguerd wants to move or not, I don't know. There's no report saying he doesn't want it. But there's also no report saying he does want it. What reports are saying is that West Ham will reject it. We will not sell at any cost. Now, I understand that stance, which is me backtracking a little bit on what I've said over the summer, because when it came to Declan Rice and then when it came to Lucas Paqueta, when Man City were interested, I thought, well, you've got a price. You're going to have to say what the price is. I like it. I like the fact that when City came knocking, said 85 million. And Cole Palmer, whatever it was, we had a price and we stuck to it. Declan Rice, we stuck to as much as we could. We reduced it a little bit, but I'm pretty certain privately at West Ham they think it would have been 100 million or something. Thereabouts, it said we can get 100 with goods, but publicly we will say 120. Now, I like that stance. I think it's a good one to have. Not being afraid to sell your players, I actually think is a really good skill and mentality and characteristic to have at your football club. Having that willingness to sell anybody, but also having the preparation to replace anybody, I think is key, and it's something I think West Ham have been poor at over the years. So I was impressed with us in the summer with the Declan Rice thing and the Lucas Paqueta thing. I think we handled both really well. But with this one, it becomes a bit trickier for obvious reasons. We can't replace him. So what do West Ham do? Well, I think it's sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't, because while they say he's not for sale at any price, and I understand that stance, well, he probably is. Would West Ham reject 150 million for Aguerd? Now, I know what you're way to say, well, that's unrealistic. Nobody will ever offer that, and I agree, but we're not trying to establish what price we will sell him for at this point. What we're saying is, if West Ham say he's not for sale at any price, well, hypothetically, would we reject 100? Probably not. We'd probably say, okay, we'll take that money and we'll replace him in January ASAP, who he's going to be missing in January anyway. But my point is, we've now agreed that West Ham actually will sell Nayef Aguerd. So now it's a case of how much. Is it 100 million? Would that be the price? So part of me actually wants West Ham to come out and say, yeah, actually you can have Aguerd. He's 130 million. Just put a really unrealistic price on it and say, because we can't replace him, but we appreciate the player might want to go, and it would be a ridiculous sum of money for the football club, so we have to cash in kind of thing. Obviously, the funny thing is, I actually think if he were to go, and I don't want to sell him, I think we'd get by. I think with Mavropanos, Ogbonna, Kera, and obviously Kurt Zouma, with those four centre-backs, I think we'd be okay without him. I do. So if the stupid offer were to appear and we were to cash in, I would understand completely why we done it. It would be risky, of course it would, but I would completely get it, why the club would, when the sun shines, make hay and all that. So if the club decided to take advantage of the Saudis being desperate to sign Aguerd, then I would completely get it. But it would have to be stupid money. It would have to be over 100 million would be the mark, I think, would be West Ham taking advantage of that market. And we'd be okay until January, then we could replace him, and it would give us 3 months to go and identify someone. We'd have a lot of money in January, and if you got to January and we're sitting mid-table, you were still in you'd got out that group stage in Europa League, which is what I think is fair to expect given the draw, then having 100 million in January transfer window turns into quite a powerful thing, really. Anyway, in regards to Aguerd, though, I don't want him to go. I do not want him to go. I think there's clearly a really good centre-back there, but he just makes me a little bit jittery. When we were going after Harry Maguire and then we signed Mavropanos, there was a bit of me, naive, that thought, why are we spending big on a centre-back when we've got Zouma and Aguerd? I like them. I like them individually. I like their partnership, and I still do. But while I think Zouma's had a fantastic start to the season, Aguerd's a bit iffy. I thought Solanke bullied him a little bit. I think he struggled a little bit on Friday against Luton. Because I don't think we play to his strengths. I think Aguerd's one thing Aguerd has that's better than Kurt Zouma is his pace. We don't really utilise it. We play quite deep, so we don't really need him to be quick. So I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I wouldn't miss Aguerd that much. I'd rather keep Zouma than Aguerd. And I think Aguerd's a good centre-back. I think he'll go on to become an even better centre-back for us. But he's not there yet. So if we were to sell him, I'd completely get it. But like I said, the problem is, obviously, we cannot replace him. But whether the Saudis come knocking is... we'll have to wait and see. But what I do think is it's going to be a little bit nervous for West Ham, actually, because it'll be interesting to see, let's just say a £60 million offer arrives, 70 million, something like that, where it's not... It's that point where you think that's too much for Aguerd, but it's not enough in order for us to take advantage and sell them out with window. Anyway, the Saudis, I don't like it. I don't like the fact that they've got this extra week, but there's nothing we can do about it, kind of thing. I think Liverpool are probably in a tougher position than West Ham right now because they've actually made bids for them and they are in London in order to negotiate with Liverpool, whereas they're not there to negotiate with us yet, but they're in the country. They're the club with money. Al-Ittihad are the club with money, not like Steven Gerrard's one. So this concerns me. It concerns me a little bit, and I hope, ideally, no bid arrives. I hope it's just paper talk and no bid arrives, because as I always say, is, when sometimes we speak about how we've kept Declan Rice for so long up until this summer, I think, well, it's an easy thing to do when no one bids. We've never had a bid for Declan Rice until this summer, so it's easy to keep a hold of a player that you don't have to reject bids for. So if they don't bid for Aguerd, it's easier to keep him. But if they do bid, then we'll find out if Aguerd wants to move or not, and I think we'll find out pretty quickly. I think one advantage possibly, is the fact we're on international break at the minute and players are away with their countries and whatnot, and I think that can sometimes cause delays when it comes to transfers. We know that. We've been through it ourselves when there's players we're interested in and they're not there, they're away with their country, so getting the medical etc becomes a little bit trickier than you'd want. But anyway, hopefully no bid arrives. That's the latest reports that Al-Ittihad, the Saudi club with money, want Nayef Aguerd, and fingers crossed it doesn't happen. But if it does, as long as West Ham take the mick a little bit with the fee, I think I'm okay with it. And the weird thing is, when I sat down to do this video, I was going to say, he's not for sale at any cost, do not sell him. I said that at the very start of the video. But during the video, I almost changed my mind a little bit and thought, do you know what, actually? With Kera, Bona, Mavropanos and Zouma, I think we'd be okay for the next few months. And this is, if we were, listen, if we'd lost all 4 games of the season, I'd say no, we haven't. But because we've had such a good start, and of course we want to build on that, but it does also allow you to have a little bit of leeway and maybe make a decision that you perhaps wouldn't have made had you not had 10 points in the first 4 games. Right, anyway, now I'm going to shut up. Please do drop a like on the video, subscribe to Hammer's Chat. Catch up with you in a bit.